It's that lone wolf mentality that is causing so much violence and anger in our society. Human beings, for 99% of our existence, knew about 100 people in our tribe. And when you're at that age where you're looking for a mate, maybe there's 3 or 4 other people in your age group that are the same gender. And so we would compare ourselves to 3 or 4 people. How do I look compared to these 3 or 4 people? And the odds that one of them was Brad Pitt was very low. Now we are comparing ourselves to the most beautiful people out of 8 billion and the richest people out of 8 billion. And so this creates a very warped perspective when we constantly compare. And so because we are seeing these beautiful people, because we're seeing people with their beauty filters, because we're seeing someone stand in front of a Ferrari they don't really own, or sit in first class until they get kicked out so they can get their social media post, we fall for this illusion. And part of mindfully using social media that is so important is not just being mindful of what you're seeing, but it's being mindful of what you're not seeing, being mindful of what you don't know. Because it's very easy to fall for these tricks. It's, every magician will show you a very small perspective. And from one angle, something looks like magic. But if you watched from behind and you saw how they're hiding the card, the illusion is suddenly not so believable. And so when we practice mindfulness, it's important to also be aware of our lack of perspective. And that will help raise our level of consciousness, recognize what is causing our discontent, and recognizing that it's based on an illusion. And that illusion will then fail to be so mesmerizing, and a confidence can emerge. Too often we confuse communicating with connecting. When we communicate on apps, it's easy to put that fake image out, put that brave face out to the world. But when we use these incredible tools of connection to actually meet up with a person in real life, then we can be our true, authentic selves. But too often we use these devices instead of communicating and instead of connecting on a deep level. And when we don't have that deep relationship with anyone, we are not getting our social needs met. These tools are very powerful, and we can stay in touch with people across the globe, but they cannot replace true connection. But they can instigate true connection. We can meet people online, we can meet them in real life, but it's when it replaces that in-person contact that a shallowness really comes into our lives. We really feed off of the feedback of others. And it's that lone wolf mentality that is causing so much violence and anger in our society, because these tools have replaced human-to-human contact. If we are suffering, if we are in a dark place, it's easy to feel alone like we're suffering alone, and to hide that from the world. And when we have people in real life in our lives, they can help pull us out of that place. When we are just online, with communities online, people who don't really know us, don't really care about us, it's easy to fall into really detrimental, negative activity. And it can feel safe to hide that from the world, but it won't actually create a life worth living. And it's important to not lean on these digital relationships to the detriment of in-person relationships, because they are so much more valuable and so much more fulfilling than these online, shallow connections. It is truly healing to really connect with a person in real life. They have shown you live longer when you have a close community. And no amount of internet time can replace that.